One of England's greatest and best-known footballers, Jimmy Greaves, has died at the age of 81. He was Tottenham Hotspur's record goalscorer with 266 goals. His former club said today they were extremely saddened to learn of his passing. Greaves began his career with Chelsea before spells at AC Milan, Spurs and West Ham. He was also part of England's 1966 World Cup winning squad and is one of the side's all-time top-scoring strikers. Andy Swiss looks back at his life and career.
Here come Chelsea on the attack.
He was English football's ultimate goal machine.
Back to Greaves, who's hanging back very well. There's a chance of a Greaves shot.
Jimmy Greaves once said that for all his skill, scoring was his job, and it made him a superstar.
Greaves! Oh, and a hat-trick for Greaves!
After starting at Chelsea, Greaves moved to AC Milan in 1961, but his European adventure soon turned sour, and he came home to Tottenham Hotspur, the club which would define his career. It wasn't just the goals, it was the staggering rate at which he scored them. 266 for Spurs, 44 in just 57 games for England. He was a key player heading into the 1966 World Cup. But early in the tournament, Greaves was injured, and although he recovered by the final, he was left out in favour of Geoff Hurst, a disappointment which proved hard to take.
I couldn't force myself to join the festivities because in my own mind, I'd built myself up that I was going to be in the side and I was going to be one of the key people. And suddenly, it wasn't me.
This is Greaves!
After retiring in 1971, Greaves struggled to cope. Alcoholism was followed by bankruptcy. But he battled back from both to reinvent his career.
Good afternoon.
Good day. Now, Saint, what happened? There you are, favourites to qualify for.
A relaxed raconteur, he was a TV natural, and Saint and Greavesy, alongside Ian St John, was a hit with viewers. Although the programme ended in the early 90s, the affection for Greaves certainly didn't. And in 2009, the man who famously missed out on the World Cup final at last received a winner's medal. It was a fitting reward for one of football's most popular and prolific talents. Rarely has the art of goal scoring been made to look quite so easy.
Jimmy Greaves, who's died at the age of 81.
In the eyes of so many who played with him and against him, Jimmy Greaves was simply the best goalscorer they'd ever seen. And the fans who were lucky enough to watch him play for Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham and England adored him. 50 years since Greaves retired from the game, the records he set still stand. In the top tier of English football, no one has ever scored more goals than he did. And if he was brilliant in the box, he wasn't bad on the box either. He went on to become one of Britain's best-loved football pundits. Our sports editor, Steve Scott, reports.
Remembering a football hero ahead of a match between the two clubs he dedicated most of his career to. England and Spurs captain Harry Kane paid his own tribute today, describing Greaves as a true legend. The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, said he was one of the greats of English football.
And in 3 minutes, Greaves had put them one up.
Jimmy Greaves was a phenomenal goalscorer for both club and country, and in retirement, a larger-than-life character who burst onto the small screen.
Oh, we're a lucky team.
There's Jimmy Greaves.
As a player, his strike rate was unparalleled, particularly for England.
Greaves scored again.
He scored 44 times in 57 games, a better ratio than anyone before or since.
He was definitely the best goal scorer, but he was also just a personality, and there aren't many of them around anymore.
He just used to glide through, not a problem.
He was always in the right place at the right time, and it worked.
He was part of England's 1966 World Cup winning squad, but was injured in the last group game. Geoff Hurst took his place, and despite being fit for the final, Greaves wasn't selected, and his one-time understudy scored a hat-trick. Greaves didn't even get a winner's medal until the rules were changed in 2009, and he was handed one at Downing Street. For clubs Chelsea, AC Milan and Tottenham, his scoring record was prolific too. In Spurs colours, he won the FA Cup twice and the European Cup Winners' Cup.
Greaves, there it is!
He ended his top-flight career with one season at West Ham United, after which he fought a well-publicised battle with alcoholism.
Good afternoon from Wembley, from Greaves and I.
A magical TV partnership with former Liverpool player Ian St John propelled Greaves to even greater stardom and a whole new audience. He was a natural in the studio, king of the one-liners who never took himself too seriously.
Jimmy Greaves.
In 2015, Greaves suffered a serious stroke, and though he never fully recovered, when he was recognised with an MBE this year, his family said he shed tears of pride. There will be many tears today too, for a man who meant so much to so many.